I'm going to read to you from Titus chapter 2.
Okay.
Verse 11. It's just such a
We
good...
don't talk before this. I got Titus chapter 2 in my notes
it.
too. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Come on.
This is good. This is good. We should retire after this. It's going too well. It says, For the grace of God has appeared that offers
Yes.
free gift, salvation to all people. And this is what he couldn't get. All people?
Yes.
What on earth do you mean?
Yes.
And this is Paul writing to Titus. This is, and Curt, we can debate this, but I still think I was talking to Isabel the other night when we were walking about this. This is Paul that the F.F. Bruce calls the apostle of the free spirit. That he didn't spend 3 years with Jesus like Peter did. He didn't do it. He sees him on the road to Damascus. Ananias comes. He's immediately filled with the Spirit, and I think he gets it. Like Peter still struggled. He was a Jew for a long time. Paul lost his Jewishness so quick. He knew that he was a Pharisee of a Pharisee and a Hebrew of a Hebrew, but he just thought, I'm going to go to those Gentiles. They deserve it. There was no prejudice. And he was the opposite of Jonah. So he says to all people, it teaches us the grace of God. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions and to live what? Self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age in California while we wait for the blessed hope, the appearing and the glory of our great God and Savior Jesus Christ, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all the wickedness, to purify for himself a people that are his very own, eager to do what is good. Boom. I mean,
So
it's
very
like
good.
Mic drop up there.
It is really absolutely true. We think that growth comes through effort. I'm going to white knuckle my way into maturity. But growth comes from gratitude.
It's good.
So the grace of God demonstrates for us, offers to us the ability to say no. The definition of maturity is the ability to say no. It's delayed gratification. It's having the wider view, the bigger view. It's living to the high calling. So what the grace of God happens, you're saying is, I didn't deserve Christ to die for me. I didn't deserve God to be slow to anger in my life, loving in my life, to send Jonah after Jonah to me to preach the gospel. I didn't deserve any of that. And in the debt of that gratitude, I want to say yes to God and no to everything that's not God. I explain to the Thrive students like this. You and I are walking down the street. I've got my headphones in. You got your headphones in. I'm listening to mine too loud. You're listening to yours at the appropriate level. We go to cross the street just in a giant semi truck, barrels around the corner. You see it. I don't because of the headphones. You have a split-second decision. And the decision is this. Do I step back and watch Pastor Curt die? Or do I push him out of the way and take the death that should have been his?
Very good.
It's not your fault. You're perfect in this situation. I'm the one who's being foolish. And being the gracious person you are, you push me out. You take the death. Your mom calls me the next week. Pastor Curt, I need this from you. Do I give it to her? Do I say no to everything else and serve your mom? Of course I do.
It's very good.
Because I owe you my life.
Yeah.
Your dad calls me. Your wife calls me. Your son calls me 30 years later and says, I have a highly inconvenient thing I need you to do. Of course, Ben. I love you.
Brilliant.
I wouldn't be alive without you.
Yeah.
This is the way grace changes us. The law tells us the wise thing to do. Grace impacts our heart. And by the way, what I love about this, the most I love is that it teaches us in an ongoing way. I'm living throughout my life and I remember the grace of God. It's teaching me. It's constantly in there going, Christ, just what you said, Christ finished all your sin, Curt.
Yeah.
Christ gave you purpose. Christ brought these great relationships into your life. Christ gave you a call. Christ died on the cross for you. And then he took your sinful, miserable, broken life and he used it.
It's excellent.
It's so good.
Yeah.